Good morning. Happy Saturday. What's up, board buddies? We got a special live episode today. And I felt like, you know what? Let's go ahead. Why wait? We never know. We might not make it another day. And this is information that's going to be important, is valuable for anyone that could be valuable for new owners. It could be valuable for new breeders, right? We want this information to be shared. People could be being a backyard breeder or a puppy mill, and they don't even know it. You could be purchasing from a backyard breeder or a puppy mill and not even know it. These terms are loosely thrown around. They derogatory. Yeah. But what does it mean, right? You got people calling people backyard breeder, puppy mill, so on and so forth. And I felt like let's go ahead and qualify, because some people may not even understand. You are a backyard breeder. And that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, but you should understand what it is to be a backyard breeder. And most of the time, these terms are associated negatively with your breeding operation and what you're doing. A backyard breeder, typically, let's start there, because most of us have dogs and they spend time in our backyards, in our front yards, right? Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with being a person that breed dogs in the backyard. But the problem arises when that's the only place your dogs, we ever see your dogs. If the only place you take pictures of your dogs is in the backyard, they never get outside the backyard. They constantly being photographed, pictured in the kennel. You're doing all your breeding in the kennel. Your socialization and occurs in the backyard. 90% of what you're doing is happening in your backyard. You breeding dogs, you feeding dogs, everything. They play in the backyard. They really don't spend much time out the backyard. Then you are a backyard breeder. And that doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. Well, it kind of does mean that you're doing it wrong. The dogs need to be getting out more than just the backyard. There's so much to the world than just your backyard. You see people doing this, and I see people doing this a lot. They just don't know any better. We need to see your dog interacting in public spaces, right? I'm just curious as to, when I see this, it's like, what are you doing? Why don't you take the dogs anywhere other than the backyard? And people might not know that. So this is a word buds. 1 second here. Yeah.
What's up, Boar Buds? You all know Jordan Pittman, a humble leader of the best African Boerboel owners and a passionate dog enthusiast for 15 years now. He raises South African Boerboel pups into dogs beyond what most people expect a large breed would be. And if he can do it, so can you. And he is more than happy to share, help, and teach you about everything you need to know based on his awesome experience raising South African Boerboels. You can schedule consultations with him and ask him anything, and I mean anything, and become an awesome breeder. Learn everything that you can from our past experience, avoid making mistakes that have been made before, talk, listen, and learn, and vow to one day in the future share all that you have learned with a newcomer to the breed. If you are ready to be awesome, please reach him on these details for pricing information. Believe he is very excited to chat with you and help you become an amazing breeder.
We're buddies. We still experiencing technical difficulties. We sorting things out right now. Here we come. No, we coming back. Yeah, sorry about that, boy, buddies. Yeah, sorry about that, boy, buddies. Can you hear me okay? Okay. All right. So yeah, like I was saying though, we back. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. Sometimes that happens. But like I was saying, so you got backyard breeders, you got puppy mills, right? These terms are loosely defined and they thrown around, and somebody will call another breeder a backyard breeder or a puppy mill, and that's not always accurate. We want to make sure that everyone understands exactly what a puppy mill is, exactly what a backyard breeder is, whether you are a breeder, whether you're a new owner. I see a lot of breeders in the backyard all the time with the dogs. We're not taking the dogs out, and that's leading us to believe that you are a backyard breeder. And if you are a backyard breeder, maybe you did not know that you was a backyard breeder. But it's a bad look because dogs deserve so much more than that. You should be taking your Boerboel especially out with this intelligent and highly evolved mind. The Boerboel needs a lot of socialization, interaction with the environment. Your dog is going to thrive. You want to take this into consideration as a breeder because if you're a breeder, you want the best for your dogs. Should want the best for your dogs, and we're gonna get into that too because we're gonna talk. So we're gonna talk about the dog business because it's two different fields or of the dog business. It's two different areas of the dog business. So you got the dogs and you got the business. We're gonna get into that in a few minutes. I feel like let's just go ahead and get these shows going while it's fresh on my mind because we never know when it's gonna be when we're gonna be out of time. So why wait? Puppy meals. That is something that we should all understand why we in puppy mill is there is no way that you could be a good puppy meal. All right. Puppy meals is high volume. We're talking about tens, 20s, 30s, hundreds of dogs in some cases. You're gonna see a lot of puppy meal activity coming out of South Africa, believe it or not. The motherland, the homeland of the dogs, because you're talking about high volume commercial dog breeding where profit is emphasized over the well-beings and care of the dogs. Now, I'm not saying that these dogs are not being cared for, but they're going to be putting a greater emphasis on making and turning a profit. So they may cut some corners. They may um, not do as much with the health testing and the health evaluation. They may not spend as much time with the dogs. That's going to be detrimental in the breed in a case like the Boerboel because the Boerboels need this day-to-day interaction, this socialization, this stimulation of the mind. It helps develop the mind. It helps the dog become a social citizen. It helps the dog become a valued member of society of the family. Because when the dog is socialized, you're familiarizing the dog with humans. So some of that might be going, you might have when you got that many dogs, it just becomes unmanageable for any one individual. So you're gonna see a lot of the big breeders or a lot of the more established kennels in South Africa with high volumes of dogs. They're gonna have staff, and they're not really hands on with the dogs. They're not because you just don't have time for that many dogs to do it adequately. You need at least anytime you're getting over 3, 4 dogs, you need to spend an hour or two a day with each dog. That becomes unmanageable. That's very difficult. That's unfair to the dogs. So we want to make sure that we're not putting the emphasis on the profit over the well-being of the dogs, like a puppy mill would do. When you're having dogs and you're going to be in the dog business, those two things go hand in hand. You got to have the love for the dogs. If you want to have success, you got to have love for the dogs. And if you want to have, you're going to have in the business aspect of it, you're going to have some business. And I think that's one of the key elements to the success of the exotic global breeding program, because we got great business, we service oriented. And that's just the way that I was raised in a restaurant, where my first job as 6 or 7 years old, I'm in the service industry and I'm taking orders and I'm talking to people, and customer service is just a way of life for me. I'm here to serve, right? I'm here to help people. I'm here to be an inspiration and a motivation, right? And I want to deliver something that's of extremely value, that is going to be um, something that you can use, something that fits into your life. It's not a problem, it's an asset, it's not a liability, something that adds to your life and not a take away. It's not a hassle, something that enhances your life. So anytime I have, and that's all I've ever done, is dealt with products that I believe in. So I have a very good understanding of business. If you didn't know, I'm also heavily involved with technology. I'm just like, these are the things that I love, and it just so happens to coincide with my business. So it's like um, it all comes together. Dog breeding, because I love dogs. I am going to take the best care of dogs. I'm going to give the dogs my all. I'm going to give them the energy and the effort that they deserve, and the care and the love is there. So my dogs are going to represent me. They look good. They are in great condition. They're in great shape. I take pride in feeding them the best foods, the best input, so I can get the best outputs. So my love for dogs propelled me to great success in this dog business, because the dogs are always well represented. And then I have an understanding of business. So I know how to treat people. I know how to put the customer first. I know how to treat clients the right way. I know how to market, right? I understand business. And in the puppy mills, what they're going to do is they're going to put business as a priority over the well-being and care for the dogs. In many cases, in most cases, I mean, you just can't. Dog breeding, to believe it or not, it's not very profitable if you do it the right way. You're not going to get rich off of breeding dogs. That's why you're going to see a lot of people just give up, right? This thing about what we just went through in the last 28 days, right? We went to the vet with Pancake. We had to have emergency C-section. We had that was $2,800, right? And then we had to go right back less than 17 days later for another C-section, emergency C-section with Zora. So we're talking nearly $6,000, right? And we haven't sold a puppy. We haven't sold any Pancakes puppies. We just released those puppies to the public. And the same thing with Zora. She only had the one puppy survive, and then she ends up um, the puppy didn't survive. She killed the puppy. She laid on the puppy. She was so adamant about being a good mom that when she was constantly picking the puppy up, she wouldn't settle down. I'm sitting there. It was a nightmare. And it's part of the game, though, because I love dogs. I'll do it all over again. When you get into a situation like that with a dog and she has to have an emergency C-section, you can't get mad at the dog. You can't get mad at, you can't waste time. You got to get there. You got to take care of your business. It's something that is not an option. You can't be trying to figure out a way to make the dog push the puppies out. If she's not pushing the puppies out, you got to go. It's like a no-brainer. You better get to the vet ASAP. And it's just part of what we do. It's not that's not very profitable though, and that's a considerable, large amount of money to be shelling out in the beginning, and then to lose the puppy, very disheartening. Some people will give up right away and let's say that this is the dog business. This is not for me. It's a lot of work. I'm up tw almost 24 hours with that dog, trying to, observe. I'm being there for her. So this what I'm saying to y'all though. It's a lot of different areas and arenas in this dog game, and it's not very often understood. You hear people tossing around these derogatory terms, and then they want to say, "Oh yeah, so and so's a puppy mill," and it's very well case maybe if you keep hearing this over and over again. But these are the signs to look for. Oftentimes, a puppy mill and backyard breeder is the same person as just graduated. It's like a higher degree of a puppy mill. I mean, a backyard breeder is a puppy mill. The highest. It's like with the backyard breeder unknowingly aspires to be because it seems like they're making all this money. And at the end of the day, they really doing a disservice because a lot of these dogs end up being unstable. A lot of these dogs end up being not good fits into homes. A lot of these dogs end up going into rescues. These dogs end up being problematic because all of these steps are not being taken to ensure that this dog is going to simulate into a new owner's life, right? They're not involved with the puppies from the very first time that they're born, from the time that they arrive into the earth, right? And that's the biggest issue for me, right? You don't want to be a puppy mill. You don't want to be a backyard breeder. Take your dog around and do some more with it. Take your dog. Let's see you inside the box with the mom, right? And I'm talking about hands on. I'm looking for you to be hands on, handling the puppies with your hands, not peering down from the outside of the box, shooting at the camera. And I'm not trying to say nobody else. Don't take this personal. If the shoe fits, then if it don't fit, then let it fly. If it don't apply, let it fly. And if the glove don't fit, then you must fit. So it's not directed at nobody in general. I'm not trying to blackball anyone, and I'm not criticizing anyone in particular. This is just talking in general terms, right? Because at the end of the day, this is about building and not tearing nobody down. A lot of people just doing these things, they're not holding themselves to no standard. And I feel like if that's what we're seeing, then there's a lot of what we're seeing is evident. It's very telling of your character. So take that into consideration. Think about that. We are all conscious. If we don't know, is one thing, but now that we know, we must do better. And I feel like it's just a lot of people lack of understanding what you're doing. Do you understand what it is that you are trying to accomplish? And it's dog breeding business, dog business. It's not just about I paid the X amount of dollars for a dog, and in the next 16 months, this dog could potentially be producing puppies, and then I would have multiple puppies or fruits from this puppy that I had originally purchased, and then I'm going to have multiple puppies to sell, multiple puppies to release for people to buy. That's just not how it works. You are going to have to show people who you are, right? You're expecting people, and this is going for the horrible peers. It's new in them coming as well as established. We want to get to know you. We want to know your dogs. I would like to know. I'm always interested. Believe it or not, I am still uh, involved with the market of the dogs, and I'm always looking for really good dogs. And it's hard to get a good idea of the quality of your dog if we're never seeing your dog, if you're never posting your dog, if you're not sharing your dog. Don't be selfish with the community. Share your dog if you intend on having this dog contribute to the gene pool, contribute to the population of the breed. We need to know what are his strengths, what are her strengths, what are their weaknesses. We want to see the dog temperament. We want to see how the dog, I would like to see how the dog, and I can't speak for nobody else. I would like to see how does the dog interact in a public setting. How does the dog respond to environments outside of his backyard, outside of his comfort zone? I would like to analyze this dog based off of video evidence if it's available. This is 2023. There is no reason why we shouldn't be having videos. You shouldn't be producing videos of your dogs. We want to see. So puppy mills, if you're just showing your dogs in the backyard and you got a bunch of dogs and you're doing it all wrong. You're doing it all wrong. A puppy mill does not really put the best interest of the breed as a priority. And that's a big issue. And we got to watch out because in the long run, it's going to be damaging. And it's not about the overpopulation of the breed. It's the fact that these dogs don't fit into society because there's plenty of homes for dogs. It's a number of dogs out here. I mean, it's just a lot of people that want dogs, right? But they get the dog, and then the dog hasn't been socialized, or the dog hasn't been familiarized with humans and the way the day-to-day ongoings of life and how to fit in a civilized society. So that dog ends up being a problem. That dog ends up having anxiety. Or that dog ends up being an escape artist. That dog ends up tearing down crates, being destructive, tearing up couches, tearing up chairs. This is a dog that's going to end up in the shelter, right? This is a dog that's not going to be a good example for its young pups. So if you got a mother that's behaving in this way, and it's always been a problem, then these same behaviors going to be passed down. This type of energy level is going to be passed down into the puppies. So we want to take time. We want to make our decisions very carefully. We're going to really strongly consider what our goals is for the future. And it has to be contributing to the community in a positive way. And if you're not doing that, you're actually doing a disservice. And the problem with that is dogs ending up in shelters, dogs ending up being put to sleep, dogs ending up being a liability to the owners and causing thousands and thousands of dollars worth of damage. It's imperative that we address the situation within this breed because if we don't, we're going to eventually have a black eye. With us having this popularity, the Borbal being the astonishing, beautiful dog that they are, more and more people are becoming attracted to this breed. We have to be very careful about how we embrace that. The reason that I say that is the more and more people are the problem, to be honest. It's not the dogs, it's the people. And it's not really malicious. It's not something that is intentional. A lot of times it's from lack of knowledge. And if you need knowledge, information, and data, that's what we're here to share. We're here to inform you. We're here to help you. So we got a bunch of guides. We got some guides coming out, y'all. We're going to be putting this information in the secure packages. We're going to help you. Our goal is to help you become the best version of yourself, whether it be a dog, a Borbal breeder, or a Borbal owner. We want you to become the best version of yourself, have the best version of the dog, and represent us all. Because believe it or not, if you got a Borbal, and it may not seem that it's applied across the board, but we all represent each other, one another. And when people see the dog, just like the pit bull, it only takes one or two times for it to have a bad incident to get a bad reputation. And we got to understand that. We want the best for the breed. This is the best breed of dogs, and we want them to be represented that way. Appreciate y'all. We got some great info coming up. We're gonna be releasing this secrets, tips, tricks, fun facts, everything that we can share with y'all from our wealth of experience. We're gonna give it to you, right? You don't have to take the bruise. You don't have to take the loss in order to get the experience. We're gonna share from you. We went through so much within this breed. We've been through it all, a number of things. I'm talking about just last. I don't. What I just explained to you is nothing new to me, right? I have had young mothers come home, and we have went to the vet, go to the top vet in the country in terms of reproduction. We come home, the mom doesn't have milk. We do the C-section, and all the puppies pass away. And you sitting there, and you every 2 hours around the clock bottle feed. Y'all haven't heard me crying and complaining about that. It's just part of it. This happens in the dog game. This happens in the dog business. You're going to have some great losses, and at the same time, you're going to have it's always sunshine at the end of a rainy day, and it's going to really break you down and humble you. You're going to have some major losses in life. This is going to teach you all about life. You're going to learn to appreciate the small things, the little victories. Being able to walk, take your dog for a walk is a luxury that people is overlooking. These are things that people wish that they could do. You can get to a point in your life where you won't be able to walk sometime. All of us are going to get there, believe it or not, to a day in an age where we won't be able to walk. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. This dog business will humble you. So I don't really have a lot of expectations. I don't have a whole lot of um I'm not going to get too involved with puppies until, like in terms of my expectations, until the puppy's 4, 5, 6 weeks old, then I can really see it's almost impossible to bet on the litter, so to speak, before they born until they're like 2, 3 weeks old. Now we know that we got survivors, we got dogs. So that's why you haven't seen those pancake puppies. We're talking about the dog business. Right. We want to see these. We want to know you. We want to see where your dogs live, right? This is a whole bunch of tips and tricks to make you a better breeder. We want to make you a better owner, a more knowledgeable, a more informed, a more knowledgeable and informed prospect. And if you don't get these things understood, then you're going to at least suffering. This leads to suffering of the dogs, suffering of the new owners, suffering of everyone involved, and it can be easily avoided. Take time with your dogs every single day. Take them for a walk. Get them out that backyard. Get them dogs out that backyard. We want to see your dogs up and down the street. Show your dog moving around. We want to see them walk, not just standing around. That's why you always see. I don't want to try to compare it to me, but it's deliberate. It's not just effort. My dogs they need to get away from me, and I'm tired of them always sniffing me. Every time I come home, I got dogs up my pants, leg, nose glued to my leg, because the dog is interested in what's going on outside. This is the dog's way of getting a report. How did things go when I was gone? Who was I around when I was out? Did I run up on any dog? Was any dogs up on me? Who was, they get a sense of this. The dog, that's why they do that. The dogs get so excited to see you. They love you. You owe that to your dog. And if you're not, you mistreating your dog. That's wrong. We love dogs, not just our dog. We love your dog. We want you to do the best with your dog. We want you to have a great understanding and expectation of what it takes to get a great successful relationship with your dog. And if you're not going to invest this type of energy and effort, then don't expect to have a tremendous amount of success. The dogs come first in the dog business. It's dog business, right? This we talk. I oftentimes I just focus on dogs, right? I never really get into the business side of the dogs. But I'm gonna tell you, it's a whole lot that goes into it, right? You want to have great success, you need to have an understanding of this. Even if you want to just be a horrible owner, right? You want to celebrate your dog, put that dog out there. We want to see your dog. We want to see the new the breeders should the breeders should be interested in the results and the progress of how the dog fits into the new home, right? I definitely am. I want to know what's going on. I want to know how did my final result weigh versus my expectation, right? These type of things, just little tidbits, right? And it's the minor details, it's the small details that make a big effect. These small, minute details. You gotta take these notes on this, right? Whether you're a breeder or a new owner, because breeders, believe it or not, we need other breeders. We wouldn't be here without breeders that came before us. So give them homage and credit where it's due. Breeder, the breeders before us, it's not like you stand alone. You're not in this on your own. You got your puppy or dog from someone, and eventually you're going to pass those dogs on to someone, and it's vice versa. And it is lineage and a generational impact that goes beyond this generation. And what everything that we're doing, we are a community. We are the Borbal breed. We are the Borbal race, so to speak. And with that being understood, believe it or not, we are dependent upon each other. That's just my thoughts and my opinion. I feel like I'm interested in other people's breedings. I'm interested in other people's success. I want the best for the breed. And so we have to share information. You might not like me personally, right? And you don't have to, but it's making it be about the dog. Make it be about the dogs. I don't really care about a per. It's not so. I ain't gonna say care because that's just wrong. That's loosely. I don't want to say I don't care. I do care, but it's nothing personal for me. I'm more interested in the dog, the dog, and with the other breeders, all of our dogs are part of this big family of dog of the breed, and we all represent each other. Those are my thoughts. Anybody got any questions? Anybody want to chime in? That would be a great time. That would be a great time. I appreciate y'all for joining me. This really is. We can keep going. We're gonna keep it going though. 'Cause this is what I do, and I could talk about this all day long. You know, I see this happening a lot. I see this happening a lot. I see a lot of times people saying they get the dogs to a certain age, and then they're wondering why I can't steal the dogs or why the dogs. And then this is really important. I want everybody to understand this, right? Because the dogs, you wait until the dogs get to a certain age, and then once the dogs get past 8 weeks old, that's when it really is important. It's extremely important that the dog is transitioned into the new home because you have these critical stages for development. And I know that there's a ton of new breeders out there. We don't know who you are. Don't wait till your dog have puppies to start posting pictures. This day and age in social media, We want to see the dogs. It's nothing wrong. We know that your dog is going to go through stages in its development. It's not all every picture is not going to be the best picture. Every video is not going to be the best picture, the video. But we want to know you. We want to get to know your dogs. We want to see those little details. We want to see how you respond. How does your dog respond to you? We want to see your dog outside, the backyard. We want to see your dog interacting in public. Why? We need to know that your dog can fit in to civilized society. We want to know that your puppy is going to fit into civilized society. A lot of dogs don't have that. Well, you're going to see dogs. It's going to be, I'm telling you right now, the Border breed is evolving and it's changing. The Border breed is one of the biggest um, dogs. It's one of the most popular dogs right now, and it's going to continue to rise. It is. I love dogs, all dogs, but this is the best dog. This is the best dog, and I'll put them up against. If I put mine against anyone's, I really feel that way about the Borbos. And the more people that get into this breed, that's why you're going to see these intense emotional value of battles and debates online about all different things. Show versus work, black versus brown versus all the different colors. You got American versus the South African. You got Naba versus Saba. You got AKC versus the NKC. All of these different philosophies and thoughts, processes, all of these different opinions and views. Why? Because everybody gets into these dogs that love dogs that can appreciate a great dog is going to feel so strongly about the breed. These dogs are that special. And that's where you're going to see all of these differences of opinions. Let me be the unifier. Let's get some kind of a way all of us can work together and put our feelings aside about how we feel about someone personally and base it strictly off the dogs. We need to be evaluating the dogs more than on just the visual. Then my 2 cents. I guess I'm getting a little bit off the subject, but it all is it's all relevant. It makes everything matters. Uh, we going in, y'all. We missed out. So we're gonna talk a little bit about. We're gonna talk a little bit about the dog show, the Dallas Dog Show. Man, it's going on. It's going on. We were going to go right. Check the weather. We getting ready to get on the road. We were all excited. Last minute, check the weather. Called up 30. He said, "Hey, 30. You know it's gonna be raining. You know it's gonna be thunderstorming. You know it's going to be down to 40 degrees. But what we gonna do? We getting ready to roll. So it's how's it? It's yeah. So with 30, we missed it. He canceled it and pushed it back, and I respect that because guess what? Nobody wants to be outside in the rain and it's cold and with the dogs. We ain't got no shelter, and it makes sense. And they wasn't able to reschedule it, and they did do the reschedule. But by that time, we had already canceled the trip. We had to leave. We would have had to leave. But I'm doing my show right now. We would have had to leave Thursday night. We wasn't able to leave Thursday night because it's a 24-hour drive. Hey, and we didn't have enough time. So next time, better luck next time. And we still support 30 Rich in his movement, what he doing. They decided they're gonna continue with the show. Big up to 30. I hope y'all have great success down there. I hope you don't. I hope, hey, I know it's gonna be a massive event. Wish we could have been there. We're gonna catch up with y'all next time they have a show. It's better planned out or whatever. But We still got the Beast of the East coming up. We're going to be there. We're going to crash that. Beast of the East, November the 4th in Virginia. Beast of the East in Virginia. So y'all, if you're in the area, come up. We got a booth. We're gonna have a lot of different Borbos gonna be there. Balto gonna be there. Booby gonna be there. So we're gonna see Balto and Booby facing off. It should be other people there. Okay, we got some comments. We got also we got several people gonna show up. I hope Asante, it would be nice. I haven't talked with him. I haven't made it to catch up with Asante Borbos, but he's got exotic Borbos, Mondo, Nikki. We'd like to see those. Bring them out. Alto gonna be there. We gonna be there. So that's a show in itself, and we're gonna be doing our thing. We're gonna be out there making noise. We're gonna be videotaping. We got some real exciting litters coming up. We got some, but I don't want to make this a promotional show about what I got. If you interested in about our breeding program, specific litters and the puppies, then visit our website, borblepuppy.com. Because this is a community-based thing that I'm doing. And I don't want to make it, it's never about pushing puppies, all right? We never, it's just, I don't ever want this show to be about trying to make a sale. Because that's not our goal here, is to educate. We want to inform. We want to give you the data, the tools, the news, everything you can use to become a better breeder owner. Until next time, my friends, Borble up, Borble hard, okay? Borble hard, y'all. Don't get it twisted. This is all about you. This is for you. If you know somebody that can use these tools, don't forget to share the news. All right, that's the whole thing we ask for, y'all. Please, that'll help us continue to spread the good word and inform the masses. So if you know somebody that might benefit from this info, please hit that share button. All right. Until next time, but let's keep it, stay tuned. Right. You might do something to subscribe also if you like this, because guess what? We're gonna be popping off. We're going off. They took that, they hacked us on, they hacked us on Facebook. My fault. We supposed to be practicing redundancy. I should have been posting on Ohio Borbal's page. It's all good. That can happen. Let that be a lesson to you. Don't get hacked. Don't get hacked. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You need to have a website, Instagram, social media, LinkedIn. Get you everything. Tumblr, Pinterest. You feel me? You're supposed to be on all of that 2 or 3 times posting a day. You need to be on all of that. We want to know you. It shouldn't be nowhere, or you cannot be found but the electric chair. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Tumblr, Blogger, Reddit, everything that there is to get it. LinkedIn, we there. I'm gonna catch up with y'all, boy butts. I really mean this. I hope that this information is valuable. This is all information that I wish that I had. Nobody was there for me, but I'm gonna be there for you. All right. If y'all need me, you got my number, 216-244-20. Hit me up. 2088. 216-244-2088. Give me a call. We can talk about it. I got answers. If you got questions, if you want to know how my point of views, I'm gonna give it to you straight. And if I don't know, I won't speak on it. I'm gonna tell you, let me get back to you. I'll go on here and do some research and I'll call some of my sources, right? It's all about fueling us, inspiring us, and pushing us in the right direction. This breed is the best breed. We're not going to abuse it and misuse it. We're not going to try to turn these dogs into some type of high priority, high commodity. That's not the goal here, y'all. It's all love. I'm a lightweight out of words at this time. Unless y'all give me some feedback, because if you talk with me, I'll talk back. But For now, I think that's about it. Let me think. Hold on, give me 1 second. Because there is something that I wanted to share with the board buds. Every day I'm trying to do better, y'all. So much on my mind, I can't even think sometimes. My bro, good to hear from you. Good to hear from you, family. Kurt. Oh, right. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up was female dogs. This was so important, right? This is so important, right? I don't even know if I wanted to talk about this online because, well, I'm gonna go ahead and give it up, y'all. I'm gonna give it up. This is huge right here. We're gonna get into some real heavy details right now. Talking about selecting of the females that let's go through into the females, right? So first of all, female dogs in this are the cornerstone of the exotic dog breeding program. We were very lucky in the initial to start off with some super producing, really tightly bred phenotype of mothers. They had great motherly instinct. Well, Greed, our main line. How Penny not as good of a mom. That could be due to the fact that she got shot and had bullet shrapnel in her forearm. But female dogs in the Border breed, I see people tend to lean towards a preferential or the uninformed are looking for these giant females, right? Newcomers to the breed. I guess people see some of our dogs. We have some enormous females, right? If you ever notice, those females are so difficult to breed. Remember, we had that 176-pound female Lord. We had that. We got Zora downstairs, 173 pounds. We got Pancake, it's 161 pounds. Each one of those dogs, think about it, experience difficulties delivering. Lord had 4 puppies in her entire breeding career, right? 4 puppies. That was a 176-pound female. You would think that she would be able to carry 17, 18, 20 something puppies, right? You would think because of a female dog being that large and substantial that she's going to have more milk, she's going to have more eggs, she's going to have more fertility levels, right? Bigger, better, more, mucho. That's so the exact opposite. Each is with the exception of Pancake. Remember, she's a little smaller than those other 2 dogs that we just named. Both of those females, though, did not have highly successful litters. Look at Remy as another one. Although Remy did have a litter of 12, which is Pancake's sister. But Remy is another larger, overly large female. Maybe she got too big. I don't know. In this breed, though, the key to success. Here you go, y'all. This big game right here. $100 million worth of game right here, y'all. $100 million worth of information. $100 million worth of news you can use. The key to warble breeding success is in your females, and they need to be small, fine, cute, petite, not that overly massive, overly size bombed. You don't need a freak, right? You don't need a freak of nature. You don't need a freak of nature. All you need is a dog that is structurally sound, right? You want solid structural characteristics. So you want to have a nice clean top, back line, a nice tail set leading into a really powerful rear where the feet are parallel in the back. You want to have a nice, not overextended abdomen. You want that abdomen to be tucked, leading into a barrel chest, not overly extremely large, but you want it to be impressive. You want it to stand out. Then you want to lead into strong, powerfully developed shoulders, back of the shoulders, and you want to have a moderate to wide front. So we're not looking for this really blowed up front end. We want to have the front end needs to be adequately proportioned, rolling into the neck, which should be strong but not massive, and the headpiece, which is one of the most truly defining characteristics of the breed, should be feminine. So when we say feminine, that doesn't mean less than. It means appropriate. It means that it is proportioned. When we want the feminine, why is this so important? The mom is going to impact your bloodline for many generations to come, more so than the father. Because I say this, motherly instincts are going to be inherited. When you have the lighter bone, smaller females, the anatomy that is appropriate anatomy. That's appropriate anatomy. That is the way that the dog in nature across species. You look at male elephants versus female elephants, male giraffe versus, well, across the board, fish, even. It's always going to be exceptions to the rules. Anybody that want to disprove me, you can always appoint to one or two. You can have. There's so many different. Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry about everybody. But what I'm saying is, darn it, help me out. Where was I? I'm not good with multitasking. I have to have uninterrupted focus. But I was on something. Oh, I was talking about the female dogs. So with the female dogs, right? Female dogs, maternal instincts. If your female dog is not a good mom, then it's highly likely to suspect her female puppies are not going to be good mothers. A lot of it, what you're going to witness mom directly passed down to the female puppies, especially when in terms of C-sections. So often you're going to result in a C-section because what has happened is in Borbos, really in particular breeds, the anatomy has mutated. And when you start getting into these exaggerated extreme females, they can't produce naturally. The anatomy has mutated. This is a morph. This is not a dog that could possibly survive in nature for one. So I asked the vet what would happen if the dog didn't push out the puppies. And she said, so they would pass away in the wild. So that led me to believe that those dogs are unfit for breeding, or survival of the fittest when they have to have, when it's emergency C-sections. So we're talking about, and that's 99% of dogs in general anyway, that they're not going to survive. Domesticated dogs are not going to survive without the aid and assistance of human beings. That's the premise of domestication. I really appreciate everybody that stayed with us. I want to go on. If you got what you got to give me some feedback, y'all. Let me know what do you want. If you got any questions, because I could go. There's so many different areas and arenas of the breeding. But I felt like that is very essential to understand if you're looking to have great success. If you're looking to have great success in the Borbal breed, right? How did how do you how have I had success? These are this is how. Because attention to these minor details. If you look at the history of the Borbal breed, if you look at some of these, you can write this down if you don't believe me. Doppernina, 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 highly prolific producer, highly prolific producer. Gretchen Moya, Gretchen Moya. That's Gretchen Moya. Leo Neon, Leonina. Leo, no, Leonium. I don't know what was I talking about. Leonium. Highly respected, highly regarded female dog. These dogs set the type, they set the tone in the breed. Look them up. Don't believe me? Look it up for yourself. Historic producing females that's in some of the most sought after male dog pedigree, with the exception of Wakasam Mitsu. All of these dogs have this feminine edge, this feminine air about themselves that they're not exaggerated. They're petite. They're not. They don't have a massive skull. They don't have the extremely thick, massive bones. These dogs they were just moderate to small. In fact, look at Dopper Greek, my bitch. Look at is a Coda. Coda is only 130 pounds. She's short, but if you look at her traits and characteristics, she has a very strong phenotype. You look at some of her offspring. You're looking at, this is the phenotype. If you're looking phenotype, if you want to understand what is a phenotype, that is the way the dog is appearing, the genetic, the expression of the genetics, uh, 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 a physical form. So you're gonna see this visibly, and then the genotype is what's inside the dog, the genetic makeup. So on the outside, you got the shell, the casing, the packaging. That's the phenotype. And then inside, what is inside of the package, the core of the package. That's the genes. You need a feminine type to produce the masculine powerhouse males that everybody desires in this breed. That makes these dogs desirable. That's what makes one of the things that make the dog attractive, right? And I don't know what's going on, board buddies, with all of these flies, but they happen every time the puppies come, and it's just part of it. You feel me? So we do our best, but it don't take one little piece of poop. But listen, let's get back to the point. Your male dog should be a powerhouse. You can bring up the status of your female by seeking out a male that has the desirable traits and characteristics. So what happens with any purebred of dog, because the population in the gene pool is closed, you're going to start to see mutations in the genotype that is expressed in the dog's appearance in some cases. So you're going to start to see. That's why the male dog, if you want to build your program, if you want to build, if you even want to have one litter, you're going to you start with a female, and then you're going to seek out the most complementary male that can address any shortcomings of your female. If you want to do Can't do that in reverse. You can't use your male shortcomings, and he's that lead him to be undesirable, then you have to eliminate. I mean, he's just not suitable for breeding. Your male dog is pretty strong. But don't want to talk your head. I don't want to hear wrong. Like I said, y'all know you catch up with y'all soon. Until next time, but we'll be back. Stay tuned though.